Welcome back to Candy Adventures. I'm Chris.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And as you can see, we are back on our F-250. If you've not been following along, it vomited out its transmission a few videos ago, and it's been down in the shop as we've been waiting for a remanufactured unit to come in. And today we're going to be testing it out and loading up the truck camper because we have some trips planned up.
So let's head to the storage unit and in the process test out the new transmission and new clutch and new radiator.
We got new everything. That thing threw glitter into the oil and then it gets cycled through the oil cooler, which is part of the radiator. The clutch was bad. I think the clutch was bad since from when I bought the truck.
Yeah.
And then it threw fourth gear and then it threw fifth gear. I have been so disrespectful and abusive to my credit card that I won't even make eye contact with it anymore.
You stay in separate rooms.
We stay in separate rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather get a foot massage from my father than to swipe that credit card anymore this month. So hopefully this does well. We're gonna take a maiden voyage and head to the storage unit.
That was such a vivid metaphor.
Already much smoother. We'll show you a picture here. The clutch came apart, the bearing came apart, and that was completely unrelated to the actual gears inside the transmission also going bad. The clutch had been bad for a long time, and then the gears finally went. So separate issues, but equally miserable to drive with.
So it's nice to have this back because that means that we can get back to truck camper adventures. And now that we have this back and we can take truck camper adventures, we've got an entire trip planned that's going out of the state of Texas.
Super excited for it. There's some stuff that we haven't been able to do while we've been in the state of Texas that I'm very excited about being able to do again. We'll possibly have an additional member joining us on the cast of Candy Adventures for the upcoming video.
We'll let you hypothesize who it is, if it's someone old or someone new. But if you've been with us for a while, you know that we always prefer to have one more person as like a camera person, but they always end up in front of the camera.
It was our camera woman for today, Shiho.
Hi, I'm Shiho.
Shiho caught her first fish in Guam. Woo!
So this might be one of those instances.
But I'm already enjoying this. It's also about $8,000 if you want to get that, if you would like to have that benefit. Now this camper here is about 20 years old and we don't trust it, so we're very nervous about it. You can see these legs here aren't the greatest, and this one's actually bowed a little bit. And you can see my hand here, I'm gonna rock it a little bit. The whole thing sways a lot. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but the whole thing moves.
Love it. Because it's got these skinny little legs.
And so that's why when we have it off the truck, we put it on these big jack stands or these big sawhorses. But you can see how much movement it is in these legs. And if one of these is to break off, it will hurt you bad. But you can see how much swing is in this thing.
One day, we could upgrade to a truck camper that has electric jacks for the legs. And you wouldn't have to go around in circles for 20 minutes to get this thing raised up.
It's about an hour to put the truck camper on. Taking it off is a little bit quicker because we can use a drill to pick up the slack once the weight's off of it. So you don't have to do the whole way manually, but the drill will not turn this without breaking this. You could probably use an impact or something on it, but you're going to break the mechanism. And as you can see, they need to be lubricated. There's rust. This is all rust from inside of this mechanism. And you can remove these legs and lubricate them, but we, to be honest, do not have time for that. It's very time consuming. You have to take all four corners off, set it on something. And I don't trust our sawhorses to just sit on those. So for now, we're just kind of
limping it along.
our drill, it's just a bolt with a 1/2-inch head, and then I've flattened off a place on it in a bench grinder so that it holds in this chuck a little bit better.
The tension is off all 4 legs, so now time for the drill. And then the lock. These have been through all sorts of awful weather and salt water, and they're still rust-free. It's pretty impressive. This tie down goes to the one by the exhaust, if you couldn't tell.
A little carbon.
And you can also see how far it goes in, because there's a very distinct line, so that's also pretty helpful.
So the truck's running super awesome. Even though our storage unit's only like 15 miles from where we live, it was flawless.
Yeah, super smooth, no jerking or noises, so that's good.
As you can see, it is the next day and the temperature has dropped. It is only in the like low 40s today here in South Texas, which is not normal.
Yesterday it was 73.
We're not going to say exactly where we're going yet, but we'll be headed north. People have asked us before what we do for rust prevention, and now that we have a new transmission and some new parts under the truck, I want to hit everything one more time with this before we head up and possibly get into some salted and sanded roads. And this lanolin is all it is. It's from sheep's wool. So it's completely non-toxic. You can spray it on anything rubber and metal, and it makes this awesome wax-like coating that never completely hardens over everything under your truck, and it works really great for keeping your stuff from getting rusty. But I'm just gonna go ahead and hit some of the new pieces. Like I see some shiny metal shackle on our drive shaft back here. Probably needs just a little.
Oh, that wind is biting. You know what is nice is this truck is so far off the ground, you don't have to like jack it up to spray anything underneath.
That's very handy.
You just crawl under there.
All right, we took a little bit of a coffee break. I had the sheep's sebum or whatever it is all in my eyes and face from laying upside down, but it's nice because it's non-toxic. So I went and washed it all up with some soap and water, and we're back.
Next, pretty apropos that it's cold outside, is that we have to repair the diesel heater. So a few videos ago, we went to go turn on the diesel heater because it was kind of chilly willies outside. As it's colder outside, we've tried to use our diesel heater and it is not heating. So we ordered another diesel heater.
Ta-da!
Another $100 Chinese diesel heater.
Comes with all the parts, fuel line. This time we even splurged and got an actual mount. So our diesel heater in this truck camper sits perfectly inside where our propane furnace used to be. This no longer has a propane furnace. And in here you can see our diesel heater, which is held up by some of this metal strapping, some zip ties. You're gonna hate the way this install looks. We get a lot of negative comments, but it's been working so good for like a year like this. So
we also made that initial repair in the middle of the desert again because we found out it was installed upside down.
And you don't want it touching any wood in the camper. So I know why the original owner mounted it this way.
Down. We fixed it with what we had, and it's also been working really well since then, so why touch it?
Yeah, I don't want to touch it while it's working. So let's go ahead and get to work.
Oh no. Oh no. that is very bad.
I think it's just the plastic line. This old junky cheap line. Just dry rotted and wouldn't let the pump.
That's a big hole. Yeah.
So maybe we can get away with fixing it by just adding some of the new line from the new pump, and I'd still have enough line left over to install the new pump in the other camper.
That line was in awful condition, so maybe that's why it wasn't even starting. We're just gonna try that first with the old diesel heater. So once it ignites and starts putting out hot air, then we're off to a good start, because that wasn't happening before.
So it ended up failing on us again. This is the old heater. These are made by, this doesn't even have a brand name on it. People have asked us what brand name of diesel heater we used before. It came with the camper. There's literally no brand on it. It just says XMZD2, 5 kilowatt heater. I've looked up these numbers. Nothing exactly pops up for this, but it does look
Similar.
shockingly similar in layout in every single way to the new diesel heater, which is a H calorie diesel heater. And what I'm hoping is that this plug is the same as this plug, and then I can use what's already there. So the moment of truth, so we don't have to rewire everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that looks identical. It's just different color. So fingers crossed.
No matter the color on the outside, it's still the same inside.
Actually, no. Hopefully.
What you doing? Okay, official first try for the new diesel heater.
I feel the same way about the great state of California as I do diesel heaters. I both love and hate them with the same amount of fiery passion. Then I bought this fancy bracket, but the fancy bracket is not tall enough to keep the exhaust pipe from hitting the wood, so we still ended up throwing some janky pieces of 2x4
Hey,
in
these
there.
are screwed in this time with wood, so that's pretty good.
So upon further inspection, that's the other end of the fuel line. So I thought we had an easy fix, and it wasn't an easy fix. And then I thought we had an easy fix again, and it wasn't. Then we replaced our whole system. And when in reality,
It was just the other half of the fuel line.
we just needed about 3 feet of this 2-cent line.
Well-
Instead, we spent most of our day diagnosing problems that were infuriating.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottoming. You're rock bottoming. I am.
It is warm. It is warm. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Like maybe something else would have gone wrong because it was older. Chris said no.
Now that the diesel heater is working and we're nice and warm in here and we're warm full of Element, we would like to thank this video sponsor.
Element.
And legitimately, Element's sponsorship is what is going to pay for us being able to have fuel money to get to the next several videos we're going to film. So we are
Actually, like genuinely, thank you, Element, for
Yeah,
sponsoring this video and the last one.
we're very appreciative. Roll the ad.
Element is an electrolyte drink that comes in a can or powder mix. No sugar, no coloring, no artificial ingredients, no fillers. And it's not just for athletes.
Whether you're recovering from a fun night with friends, going on a high elevation hike, or working on your bench press PR with no spotter, you're losing electrolytes when you sweat.
So Element can help you replenish it with 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Right now, Element is offering our viewers a free sample pack with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any Element order. This is a great way to try 8 of their flavors or share Element with a salty friend. Get yours at drinkelement.com/candy. It's only available through our link. It's drinklmnt.com/candy, CANDE. Or click the link in the description below.
The next thing that we have to do is figure out how we're gonna fit a third person and a dog. So the dog usually sleeps on this whole cushion right here, and this is supposed to be like a dinette that can be a bed. But as you can see, if the dog is right here, you have no leg room as the third person. So we're trying to figure out where to put the dog so that the third person is comfortable. Our idea right now is that she can maybe sleep in the back of the truck cab because there's like a pass-through window so heat can flow into that, but we have to create some sort of seal between the truck camper and the cab of the truck for her to receive heat, or else it's just going to go outside. Why doesn't she just sleep on the floor like a normal dog? We've tried to have her sleep on the floor a couple times and she's so uncomfortable, and it's actually really cold down there, so she just doesn't sleep and she stays up all night, and it's annoying for all parties involved. So the next best option is the back seat of the truck where she sleeps anyway when we travel.
Some of the new trunk campers, this feature has gone away, but we have a big rear window that I can fit through. And then into the back of our pickup truck also has a window that lines up that you can fit through. And my idea is there's a space about 2 or 3 inches in between those 2 windows is to put this motorcycle inner tube in between, deflate it a little bit, and then inflate it and basically create an airtight seal in between the camper and the truck. So I am very excited about this. It might not work.
But we're gonna try it.
Yeah, we're gonna try it. So I'm gonna get this window opened up and squeeze this in there and see if I can inflate it and make a nice, like basically a giant air-filled O-ring. Now what I don't wanna do is have it exactly glass on glass because it could pop. I would think it could break the glass or push it in or out where it's not supposed to be. Cab down there, and the top of it is not on glass and the bottom of it's not on glass, which is what I want. I'm just gonna put just a couple of PSI in this.
And this is why we keep random scraps of things.
So we got a little piece of foam that I refuse to throw away. And I'm gonna see if I can take up, because there's a little more gap on top.
I love that the solution is stuff things into holes.
We don't have a latch anymore on the window. You can see right there where the glue used to be. It does not exist. Just fairly airtight.
I don't feel anything.
So the idea is that the heat would pass through just like this, and then she would sleep down
Right
there
here.
where all that silicone and stuff is, and we'll make her a bed in there. So we'll probably try in there. If not, we'll try to figure out something with this little area here. But I think this will be a good solution.
Yeah, I think she'll like it. She's perfectly comfortable. And if it doesn't get like as hot, she has dog pajamas.
Would you like to have your jammies for the evening? Would you like to have your jammies? Is it cold? Would you like some jammies? Oh, you look like Porky Pig in your jammies.
So I think she'll be okay between those two things. You want to test it? Come on. Oh, we love that. We already know where to go. Oh, we love going in here because that means we're going on adventures.
It's our favorite place in the whole world.
Oh boy, you gotta go through that little hell though. You ever been through there?
Good girl.
Good girl. Oh yeah.
Good girl.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah.
Two favorite places in the whole world. Now that we've got those two things out of the way, we have a third problem, which is how are we gonna fit skis and a snowboard in that truck camper where they'll be out of the way of 3 people and a dog?
We've been carrying these around for literally years. I used to ski quite frequently on the East Coast, just skiing on ice. And we've been carrying these around and keeping them in storage units. And if you've been watching the channel for the last few years, you've seen we haven't done literally any skiing.
Not snow skiing, at least. We've just done water skiing. So we'd like to try it at least one time because we haven't gone in years. But we have to figure out how we're going to get them there to our next destination.
Hopefully they fit, because I'm very excited at another possibility to blow it out an ACL with no health insurance. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun. The only thing, will they fit under the bed? So the snowboard should be easier. It's significantly shorter, and it's also a little bit flatter.
And the skis. Alright, here's the storage. And I believe to the front end is 70 inches, almost exactly.
And these skis, if you're wondering, are 179. So we'll see if 179 centimeter skis will fit in a North Star truck camper, in case you also have a pop-up North Star truck camper.
Alright. I'm going hypotenuse because it's longer. Just barely.
Uh-oh. That's going to be annoying if we can't get them in there.
Just
oh,
kidding.
they fit. Well, one fits anyway. At least one fits.
So it looks like the height is going to be more of the problem actually than the length, because you have an inch and a half, but this is higher than the boards in the middle. If you
The brakes, maybe?
if you lift that.
There we go.
Okay. Down. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Does the bed shut with it? Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
So I preemptively took the back of my bindings off that go along your calf because they stick out really far, so I was pretty sure that those weren't going to fit in there. But I got to keep the rest of it on, so it's at least 2 sets of screws. It's not that bad. With wise.
Oh, no problem.
Ooh, just barely.
No problem.
Yeah! Yes. Okay. Okay, that's so exciting because now we don't have to take up the space of the third person or the dog. They're in their own compartment, stored away, not in the way of anybody. Look at that.
So we still got open bed space. We get a dog that's sealed off. They can go in the front. We have the skis and snowboards. And if you're wondering, the third person will either be renting skis or not skiing. They haven't decided yet.
They've never done it, so it's up to them to weigh the cost and the risk of throwing yourself down a mountain of snow.
But so far, everything's just about loaded up. The only thing we have to figure out now is this camper is winterized, is how we're going to do water. And I think I have a solution for that.
Okay.
So what we have is, we found this in the trash someone was throwing away, and we ran a little bleach through it. This is a U.S. government.
Wonder who was throwing it away.
I don't know, but it's a U.S. government 5-gallon water can. And I thought this would be handy because we can keep it in here and we don't have to worry about our plumbing freezing. And then I got on Amazon and found this.
Wow.
This was $9.
Yeah.
It is powered by a USB micro, but it's only $9, so that's okay. And this dangly boy goes in here.
With such precision.
I've got diesel on my hands from working on that, so I don't want that. This is meant actually for those 5-gallon, like office-style water cooler
the blue jugs.
The blue jugs.
Yeah.
And I was looking on Amazon, and I was like, that's about the same size as that. And let's see how she does. They make one for these kind of U.S. government-style jerry cans. They were like $200.
Whoa.
This is $9.
Way better.
This is $9, and let's see, you just hit the button.
Okay.
Oh yeah, brush your teeth, whatever, hit the button. That's it.
Heck yeah.
So I think we have an awesome solution, and this can't leak. It can be stored vertically. We've had a lot of problem with water cans.
Oh, where'd he go?
We've had a lot of problem with this style water can where it sits sideways and it uses gravity. We have had 2 or 3 of these in different makes and models, and it always leaks around this seal. In fact, our wood here on the side is actually starting to puff up where it's absorbed water.
It's a victim.
Because it's such a handy place to set it and get your water or brush your teeth or do whatever, but they always leak. So I like this because it's not gravity operated, so it cannot leak.
We're pretty much ready for a road trip, right?
I think so, but where are we going? I want to show you in the most time and labor intensive way ever to try to hint to you where we're going. Instead of just showing you on a regular map, we've been getting into 3D printing and want to show you a 3D printed map.
Mind you, budget 3D printing. We got a very on sale, budget friendly 3D printer.
So this is what we've been printing. I've got my thumb. We actually wrote the location on the bottom, and I don't want to show it where my thumb is. But we've been printing different sizes and different colors of plastic. This one's been hand painted by Elizabeth, and then of course this one's not painted.
But this is showing where we're going, so we'll be camping in 2 different locations on this very cool 3D map.
And if you can guess, if your geography is super good, if you can guess where you think this location is, please leave it in the comments. I think some people will probably be able to figure it out by this big flat area and then the mountains.
I turned it this way. Wow. This is very deep. So that's another hint.
And to fish these rivers, we also have some solutions for that. So for our grower not shower collections, we actually have our merch lure here, which if you're a member of our Patreon right here is the top tier Patreon, is these handmade lures with the Shiner beer bottle caps. I'm going to try to catch a trout on this. If not, I haven't been fly fishing in literally years.
Ooh.
And we've realized that Eagle Claw also makes a collapsible fly rod. So I have a collapsible fly rod with one of the, I only fish with 2 different flies. So Parachute Adams or Royal Wolf. So I have one of my 2 flies that I've been fishing with for literally 30 years. And we have a matching set of collapsible Eagle Claws now.
We're a big fan of these. They hold up really well. They have yet to break on us, and they're only like $25, so it's really hard to beat.
And they fold down so much smaller than the other brands, and I love it because we can throw it in a backpack, throw it on a dual sport, throw it in the camper, and just always have it with you. So
not sponsored by them, but love them.
No. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this up and pack our merch lure up. Hopefully we can do some damage with these 2 boys. We thought maybe it'd be fun to offer these as like Patreon items. If you guys are interested, maybe each location we go to, we can print a cool map out, maybe even put the locations that we visited on there. Maybe it's a location that you've been to before and like to have a keepsake that is a actual representation from mapping software of what that area looks like in 3D. Is a cool coffee table thing.
We have to keep in mind that the best printing places, like the coolest effects, are places with relief. So if it's a relatively flat place, it's pretty boring 3D print. But we thought it'd be cool to even if anyone's interested, just drop it in the comment or
I thought
something.
it was super cool. These take surprisingly a long time. This took 8 hours to print. This takes 11 hours to print, slightly larger. But we thought it was super cool, and maybe you guys would be interested in something like this. I'm very interested in our rental house in here. I have a big 3D map that I've been carrying around for years, and I just think they're so cool to really get a good spatial recognition of kind of the lay of the land. I always thought these kind of maps are neat. Anyway, I think we're about ready, and we're going to see you guys next week when we're on the road and going to our mini mystery destinations.
Yeah. Who that?
Don't you worry about that.
Who is she?
Don't you worry about that.